Back in September, faculty, alumni, undergrads, and community members gathered at Frost Amphitheater to witness history in the making. Jonathan D. Levin was sworn in as the 13th president of Stanford University. Over the past few years, students have seen multiple presidents come and go. So, how are students feeling about this most recent transition? In 2023, Mark Tessier Levin stepped down as the president of Stanford University. In a statement to the public published on July 19, 2023, Tessier Levin referenced the findings by a scientific panel after allegations surfaced of issues with his research. A panel investigation into MTL's academic honesty was prompted by a Stanford Daily investigation. He acknowledged the shortcomings in his research practices and officially resigned. Looking back on his time as president, most students, even those who weren't here during his term, have an idea of how President MTL's time as president of Stanford ended.
The MTL situation, it was interesting because I was coming into Stanford at that time, and hearing about that wasn't reassuring.
Sort of felt like he was in his own ivory tower, kind of, and sort of I didn't really see how his decisions maybe affected my day-to-day life.
Last school year, Richard Saller served as the interim president of the university, during which he was faced with many decisions. With only a year in office, many didn't have a chance to know who he was.
I don't think we really had a chance to see what he would have done with the campus, just because his tenure was so short. But he seemed like a nice guy.
I appreciate the difficulty of his job, being an interim president. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy, honestly. It's a thankless job.
After spending 8 years as the dean of Stanford's Graduate School of Business, Jonathan Levin took over as the university's 13th president on August 1, 2024. He was later inaugurated on September 27, 2024. Now, in his first quarter, students are starting to form their opinions on his presidency.
Decent thoughts on him. I'm part of Club Lacrosse, and so he came and talked to our captain. And it was very respectful, heard some of our issues and was able to offer some insight, which we appreciated because we had hit a lot of roadblocks along the way, and he was the first one to actually help us and give us direction.
Students are hopeful that he will be productive and prompt change during his term.
I think some ways to make it easier for VSOs and other organizations to have fun, to allow them to throw parties without too much bureaucratic oversight.
I'd like a more conclusive, Stanford University perspective on what's going on with the creative writing department. I think that would be really insightful as a student who cares a lot about creative writing in general.
I feel like presidents, the university is very much an outward-facing role. Sometimes in terms of showing that there is leadership here and that they're doing what they can to make sure students have a good time, that they're still learning and they're still in a safe academic environment. And I think that's really all, protecting the status quo. Not even the status quo, but just ensuring that that's what is available for all students. So.
Time will tell how successful his term will be, but there's no doubt that it will have a lasting impact on Stanford's legacy. I'm Paige reporting for the Stanford Daily.